Hi, welcome to Everyone Can Jam. This is a place where everyone can learn to play guitar without pain and injury. And in this series, we're focusing on things we can do to either recover from pain and injury or to prevent it in the first place. Something that's very popular is the concept of stretching. And it just frightens me when I see, the lessons that teach you to pull your fingers back. Theoretically, stretching can be helpful, but it's also really easy to hurt yourself when you're stretching. So we want to talk about how to not hurt yourself when you're stretching. There's a comment, I think it's in this series, a woman commented about, an injury that she got from stretching. So we'll talk about how to not hurt yourself when you're stretching. One of the main things I want you to know, and this was like news to me a few years ago, I learned that it's not a good idea to stretch before a workout, like in athletics. It's not a good idea to stretch before you practice. And I was very skeptical about that, but I did some research and I'll share that with you. But the idea is, and research has shown that when you stretch before your workout or before your practice, which is basically an athletic workout, for 30 minutes after stretching, you're more likely to injure yourself when you're exerting your muscles and your body. And so what experts are recommending now and what Olympic athletes and professional athletes are doing is before the workout, they warm up, and then after the workout, they stretch, and then no more exertion for at least 30 minutes after you're stretching. And I know I was so skeptical when I was told this because I was just raised with that notion of, you stretch before you work out. And there's this thing we're dealing with called primacy. Whenever you once a person believes something, I have a friend who's a lawyer. She taught me that word. I love it. Primacy. She said once somebody believes something, it's very difficult to get them to disbelieve it. But I'll share. Hopefully, I can find those articles and I can share with you that research. But I did some research and I became a believer. I stopped stretching before practice, and it has helped me a lot. I sort of inadvertently stopped stretching completely. I intended to stretch after practice, but then by the time I practiced, it was time to cook dinner. So I just fell out of the habit of stretching, and if anything, it has helped me. Of course, I established some new habits, which I think are more important than stretching. Warm up is really important. So what you want to do, I'll get back to the stretching and some warnings about stretching, but before you practice, you really want to warm up. And by warm up, I mean get your body warmed up. Maybe a short stroll up and down the street, or some jumping jacks, or I have a karate kata I like to do, which just really makes me feel like I've just been running or walking. And I'm not making this stuff up. I study and I consult. I have a consultant who is a physical therapist, and she's a hand specialist. So I run these things by her and I say, okay, this is what I'm teaching. What do you think about it? And she said, yes, absolutely. If you warm up before you use your hands, then you're going to have more blood flow, more oxygen, you're going to be more limber, and you're going to be less likely to hurt yourself. So in my mind, I'm feeling like warming up is probably more important than stretching. You definitely want to warm up. Stretching is kind of iffy to me right now. So let's see. So we talked about, and then, okay, so really get your body warmed up by physically, go up and down the stairs or something. If that's okay with your doctor. Don't begin an exercise program without the permission of your doctor. But if you can safely, get your heart rate up just a little bit, that'll be good for you before you practice. And then you want to when you first start playing, do really easy things where you can focus on your technique and relaxing while you play, and don't do anything strenuous when you first start playing. And then your hands will loosen up and you will be able to play with less chance of hurting yourself. Another thing that helps a lot is to practice frequently, but we'll probably talk more about that on another day. So hopefully I've convinced you that warming up is really important. And then the thing about stretching, if you do decide to stretch, there's some basics about stretching that are really important to know. I had a young friend who was doing, there's the stretchings you see where people are pulling their fingers back, and he was just like yanking them back, and I'm like, oh no, please stop. When you stretch, I don't do these stretches, but say you were, like one of the stretches I used to do was like this. If I was doing a stretch, you want to inhale first. Everything you do should be gentle, nothing jerky or quick. It should be gentle. You take in a breath, and when you breathe out, there's a physiological response that happens that triggers your muscles to relax. You could use this, say, like if you go to the chiropractor, or if you're stretching for any other, athletic endeavor, or if you're in a massage and they say relax, you take a breath in, and when you exhale, you're triggering your muscles to relax. So that knowledge comes in handy. So if you're stretching your hand, say you're doing a stretch like this, you would breathe in and then just press very gently as you exhale. If you're doing this sort of thing, I'm not suggesting it, I'm just saying if you choose to do it, you would breathe in, and then everything should be slow and gentle. When you jerk on a muscle, you're signaling the muscle to tense up. So whenever you're stretching, it should be slow and gentle, and never jerking. Jerking triggers it to tense up. Exhaling triggers your muscles to relax. So always inhale, and then as you do the stretching, you would very gently stretch and exhale, and those things will help with your stretching, help you not to hurt yourself, help you not to tense up, and actually do the opposite of what you're trying to accomplish with your stretching. So be cautious about stretching, and I'm going to look for those articles, see if I can put them in the description under this video. And so to sum it all up, I'm suggesting do not stretch before you practice. Definitely warm up before you practice. Warm up your body. When you first start playing, I'm doing my harp stuff, but with guitar, just do really easy things. If you're following the Well-Tempered Work, the title of those lessons is How to Make Everything Easier on Guitar. If you're following the Well-Tempered Work, those exercises are really easy, and that would be a good thing to do first, something really easy for your fingers. They'll get a little more where you're using more fingers pretty soon. Let's see, easy work for your fingers, nothing strenuous when you first start playing. And then if you feel like stretching is going to be a good idea, do that after you practice, and make sure you don't play anymore for a half hour or so after you stretch. So please like and subscribe if these lessons are helpful. And I don't have any PDFs on this lesson, but if you do want to get the PDFs and some other things that I include on my website, on my free instruction page, and if you want to get newsletters, you would want to sign up for my email list. And my website is in the description under this video. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.